Hey, this is Julian from luminatic.com, and today I am editing this image, and basically I'm going to remove these ropes here. The image was submitted by Robert. Robert is from California, from Santa Monica, and he told me, well, I really would like to remove these ropes, but I don't know how. And I said, yeah, that's not a problem, I can show you. And he was so gracious to send me the full-size JPEG of this image. It's a beautiful racetrack bike. I think it's a Yamaha R1. Oh, by the way, perhaps I can see? No, I can't see. I thought there's perhaps a logo here. I think it's Yamaha R1, but I might be mistaken. And Robert did a great job of catching the golden flakes in the paint here. So that's really good photography here. And now, how to remove this? When you are working on an image and you want to edit it, well, which is obviously what you want to do when you're working on it, you want to create a layer here and work any edits only in this layer. The original image always stays the same. You don't touch it because in case you mess something up or you decide to change something after editing the image, then you haven't edited the original one, but you always only work in this layer, and you can just click this layer away if you like. So by clicking on this plus button, I've created an empty layer, and make sure this layer is selected. And then I'm going to select the area repair tool. I think it's called area repair tool in English or something like that. And with this little video, you can already see what this tool does. You click on an object you want to remove, and the algorithm determines what part of the image should be used to fill this in. And now let's try this on the rope in the front here. Okay, now let's carefully mark this. Let's see. And as you see, this is pretty good already. This part here isn't too well because the algorithm has its limitations. The part where there's only the out of focus hills in the back is quite good. You might see the shape a little bit here, but when there's a transition to another image part, then the algorithm sometimes doesn't know where does one part end and the other starts, and then it tries to fill in, and then this happens. This can be easily removed. For example, you can use the cloning tool and then just clone a random area of the background here over this nose, and there we are. It's gone. If you are not satisfied with the job the algorithm did here, because you argue, yeah, if you look at the image, you instantly might recognize that here something has been done, you can also use the cloning tool to remove the rope. So let's delete this layer and start from scratch. You can also use the cloning tool. Use a soft brush, not a hard brush, so the hardness left to 0. And take, for example, let's say 190 pixels roughly. Then by clicking Alt and Option and clicking on the source area, you select the source, and then the cloning tool copies this part over. So if you think this is a little bit more accurate, you can still see that this is a little bit different. So sometimes it takes, let's undo this, sometimes it takes a few tries to find the correct section to copy from. And after, I think this one is pretty okay. And now you can't really see that something has been edited here. You see here that there is still some rope visible. You can either try to carefully clone this away tool. Again, you select a random source here. This is working pretty well on this image because everything is out of focus. It's an irregular pattern, and therefore you can copy nearly any part, and it wouldn't really make a difference. So then this is the quick and dirty way to edit. Some little bit of the nose now has been covered with something of the copied area, and this can be easily removed by using the eraser tool. This is just, what I'm showing you is just one method of removing the rope, and then you just delete the part that was copied above it. And if you zoom out now, nothing's visible. So let's try another method here on the back, because there the rope is touching optically touching several parts of the bike. So for the rough part here, I'm using the area repair tool again, and dang, it's gone. And for the other parts, I'm going to make a mask. And because I only want to remove the rope and not parts of the bike, not paint over parts of the bike, so I now use the polygon lasso to mask out the parts that I want to remove. This will take a minute. Masking, there are many ways of masking an object, and the polygon lasso is the one that requires quite a little work, quite a little effort, but just for the sake of demonstration, I am using this one now. Okay, and ding. So what I did now is I put a selection, a mask, around this part of the bike, and any edits I'm now applying will only be applied within this selected area. It's a selection, not a mask. A mask is something else. I'm sorry. I'm not used to Photoshop English regularly. Okay, now I'm using the cloning tool again, because I think now I'm painting only inside the mask. I'm using quite a big brush, a soft brush, and I'm selecting again a random area and then just paint over, and let's see how this works. So now I'm deselecting. As you can see, as I had quite a rough, a very strict border, so there was a very strict border of the selection. The edge between the areas here is quite sharp, so you can instantly see that something has been done to this image. You can either, there are several ways how to tackle this, and one which is also a quick and dirty way is to use the cloning tool again, and then just clone over the parts that are have quite a rough edge to hide them. Again, because there's so much nice bokeh in the background, it's easy to hide those, and because you can just copy any random part, nearly any random part of the image. Okay, this didn't work too well. As you can see, it's sometimes a little bit try and error. You have to zoom in, zoom out, and see what works. It's a little bit a point of having a lot of experience with Photoshop. And as you can see, I'm a little bit out of touch at the moment. Haven't edited in a while, and also talking, explaining, and editing at the same time is a little bit of a challenge for me. So, okay. I think with these last challenges, with these last edits, it can be deemed okay for the moment. As you see, this was an edit that took a few minutes. Let's recap. You can use the area repair tool to remove larger portions of the of unwanted objects, but this has its limitations because the algorithm tries to fill in the area, and sometimes the algorithm determines areas to copy from that are not fitting to the image. You can also clone away parts of that you don't want to see, and you can make a selection and work then only within this selection. So rope is removed. Let's see the before, the after, before, after. You might argue that you can see now here there's a line, something has been done to the image, but if you look at this image for the first time, if you don't see the original and you only see this one, I guarantee 99.9% of people won't see that something has been done here. And even if you say, okay, I'm not satisfied with this part here because you can see that there is some regular pattern in this line and it's recognizable that something has been done, you can also clone it away. Let's take a little bit of a bigger brush and then you can, okay, this didn't work too well. You can disrupt this pattern a little bit by copying random parts. And now I think it's in a way that everybody can be satisfied. So this was one way of removing unwanted objects. I hope, Robert, that I explained it in an understandable way. I wish you a lot of fun with your next motorcycle shoots and let us show us what images you made. So I'm curious to see how you're progressing. Thank you very much for the moment and bye.